Protests happening across the country, including here in Portland tonight.
And for most of the afternoon, things were very quiet throughout Portland, but demonstrations do continue tonight. We know especially in North Portland and in downtown.
Jennifer Dowling on the scene. Where's your location? What's the situation, Jennifer?
Well, we're near 4th and Main Street, and behind me you can hear and see a huge crowd of protesters in front of the Justice Center, and we're getting reports of vandalism all over the area of the Justice Center, and people on scaffolding near the federal building there. People are pretty fired up, and it sounds like there are some reports of vandalism also happening on the east side right now. We have a crew headed that way at this time. Earlier in the night, things were peaceful. We were at a vigil in North Portland at Peninsula Park, and people were pretty quiet there. It was a huge crowd, but things were pretty subdued. Take a listen.
And we're not okay with this anymore. But that's not what we're going to do. We will not be silent.
More than 1,000 people gathered at Peninsula Park in North Portland for that vigil for George Floyd this afternoon. Some people said they were marching toward the North Precinct afterward, and others were coming here to our location at the Justice Center. We talked to a pastor and a man who graduated from high school in Portland about the change they'd like to see in our country following this tragedy.
I don't say all cops are bad cops, but I tell you there's some bad ones, and if the good ones want to be good, you can't support the bad. So if you don't come and tell the truth when it's time to tell the truth, you become bad cop like bad cop. So I love them all, hope they work it out and figure out how not to support such activity, but to be honest and faithful to the community.
I want the future to be better, I want Black Lives Matter to be like, we feel safe, I want to feel safe. That's why I'm here today.
There were other speakers today that came out to let Georgia's family know they were not alone in Minneapolis there. One man told us about police, quote, "We are tired of young men getting killed. If you are afraid, don't put on the uniform." So again, earlier in the day, protests and rallies and vigils remained pretty peaceful. But as the night wears on, things are again ramping up. The protesters out here have been camping out at the Justice Center overnight this past Wednesday evening and this past Thursday evening, and it's likely that some will remain camped out here again tonight. You can hear them chanting in the background there, and some people have been marching, and we know when people start marching, as is the history of Portland protests, things can get a little bit wild. And so with that march on the east side, we have heard reports again of some vandalism going on over there. So we'll check back in at 11 o'clock with an update at that time. Back to you in the studio.
We will certainly keep boots on the ground. We have crews headed up to the north side as well, and we will switch back as needed. Of course, George Floyd at the center, all of this, and his death, and the former